yeah, I boom with the scheme. Dream chasing, I've been chasing the dream. Paper chasing, I just made it my thing. Got the bag, I just need me a ring. GMF, hold it.
It's week 3 of the NFL. And coming up, we'll see David Montgomery. He was terrific a week ago. Well over 100 yards and several stops in the end zone. It's the Lions and the Falcons, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Escapes the defender. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
And I think if you're handing out hardware through 2 weeks of the season, he might be your MVP, already 7 touchdown passes in just 2 games. As we do know, though, in real life, they don't hand you out anything this early. A lot of games left to get through between now and the playoffs.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. From the 35, here's second and a yard. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Complete to Wright. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Here's Goff. He'll find his rookie tight end, Sam Laporta. The numbers for him from a week ago. Now you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw right there they want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
Play action. It's Goff. Jones goes diving, and he's got it. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 25-yard line. A good pick up there at 20 yards. Off play action. Here's Goff. And this one's incomplete. He's trying to get it to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and that'll bring up second down. We take a peek at the list of inactives for this week's game, and gosh, this early in the season, Charles, injuries already accumulating for this squad.
You got to wonder, in this organization, are they just saying to themselves, well, hopefully we're just getting them out of the way early so we can make a late season push when we have everyone back. It certainly feels that way with the number of injuries they've had already.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Goff. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Lions first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Goff throwing again. And in for the Lions touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
And we're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Patterson back out there to send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. The Falcons ready to go to work here on offense. And at the helm in his second season, Charles, it's Desmond Ridder.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. You talk about this Lions defense. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Kirby Joseph there to drop him. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, it's Ridder. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Now this defense for the Lions, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
What keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield, and all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Ridder and London team up there. First down, Atlanta. Back to the ground with Robinson. It's a solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Falcon football, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Ready.
Ridder with it after the play fake. That's caught left side and tight end Pitts. So nothing doing there, and that'll make it 2nd down. Ridder now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Does the big boy have the juice? And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Always fun to watch a big boy pick it up and go. He may need a little oxygen on it. He may need a lot of oxygen on the sideline.
Not only that, how about you and me trying to balance ourselves up here because you can feel the shaking all the way up to the booth. That big guy trying to get it to the house.
Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. Once more, Montgomery. And this time he'll score. Touchdown, Lions. So this has been a pretty strong start to the year for him on the ground, CD. It's just week 3. That's already 5 rushing touchdowns.
And you know he's got big grins on their faces besides the rest of the team. The strength and conditioning program, because he was awfully dedicated to what they put in front of him to get ready for this year. Got himself into terrific shape, and he's dominated here early on.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. They have the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
And still second quarter, you get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Back to throw, Ritter. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. You see David Montgomery heading back out to begin the drive. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. And I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to back up.
You turn into a heck of a DB there. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he's got room. 44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And he takes this one in for the Lions touchdown. David Montgomery with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions take a 3-touchdown lead. So that now 6 touchdowns for him on the ground here so far this year, Charles. And it's week 3. What kind of a season might he be embarking on?
Well, we both know it helps to have fresh legs early. And they're going to ride him a lot as this year goes on. But one other thing to keep in mind, as you keep having success, you actually have built up some momentum. Your body responds to that as well. So I see no reason for this to slow down anytime soon.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. On now to punt. Here's Bradley Pinion. Pulled in at the 24. And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. David Montgomery and the Lions about set to begin this next series. Good returns on the last drive. He hit the end zone for the 2nd time. Good returns in this 1st half, really.
Yeah, good returns for his team. Really good returns for the guy. You know where I'm
fantasy.
Darn right. Those fantasy guys who have him on their team, they're rejoicing right now, and they have a high expectation that what they've seen already will continue.
You talk about fantasy a lot, but you don't. Why don't you just play? You know,
I'm not good enough to play a fantasy game.
And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And it's the Packers who are out in front in the second quarter. Christian Watson, a touchdown catch in that first half. Next, we're off to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Colts as that one's gone to halftime. The Ravens looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And that one all tied. In that first half, it was David Montgomery who proved to be tough to stop. He had a nose for the end zone as he wound up with 2 touchdowns on the ground in those first 2 quarters. Final adjustments being made in both locker rooms. They are just about set to get back to football in Detroit. And for the call of the second half, we'll kick it back up to Ford Field and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Here's Ritter. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And a 1st and goal coming up here inside the 10-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
Well, it reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. David Montgomery with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots and going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it is 28-0. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Ritter. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken it around the 40. We'll call that a 41-yard punt. The net a little greater, though, following a loss on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. See David Montgomery heading back out to begin the drive. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the third, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that. And guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3, now in search of 4. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. 121 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. 2nd down and 4. Handoff comes to Montgomery. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. On the ground, it's Montgomery. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd down, Montgomery, nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Touchdown, Detroit! David Montgomery, 35 yards. And the Lions are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes this 35-0 now. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready. From back at their own 10-yard line. Ritter back to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Looking to throw once more. Here's Ritter. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Ritter from the gun. coughs up the football near his own goal line. And into the end zone. A scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Extra point try now for Patterson. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Aleem McNeil able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be fourth down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Taken right about the 40.
The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return.
And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now.
They're looking at a third straight win here if they can hold on.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery.
And he's got it to about the 40.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game. And
there he goes left side. Now he's loose again. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just added their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Working from the gun, Ritter.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Romeo Okwara picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns, haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start.
And the pressure gets to him again. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Detroit, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
You